thoughts on the game tonight?
We won.
Do you have any other thoughts?
I'm happy we won.
How about the way your team played? It looked like you struggled from the field a little bit. You had some turnovers. What are your thoughts with the way the team played?
You're interesting. Because you keep on trying to ask me questions. Long story short, go ahead. You can ask the questions. But you're good, because those are good. These things are a fact, okay? We did win. We did out-rebound the team. We shot 20% in the first half. We did get better in the second half. So that's a positive. We keep going down by so much and overcoming that. That's a consistent thing. That's a negative that we've got to get straightened out. That's what's happening. The other is the same thing, 20 turnovers. That disturbs me because these are unforced turnovers. So, you know, at some point in the second half, I thought that we calmed down a little more. I mean, you saw what I saw. So, long story short is we normally shoot about 55 shots a game. So our shooting percentage has got to be up. We don't shoot much more than that. I wish we did, because that means that we're probably running a little bit more. We probably need to shoot about 60, 65 times when you're not shooting as well as we're not shooting, or as poorly as we are shooting from the outside. However, and then what happens is that, you know, it's a good thing that Rachel was hitting on the inside as a post without Mo there, and Chelsea getting, four shots or something like that. It's just an anemic situation, but we're glad because defensively we were able to take care of it. We didn't help ourselves free throw line, so that's the other thing. That's sick. So when we turn the ball over like that, shoot 13 for 27 from the free throw line, guess what? We're lucky that we won. And we won against Salle, okay? And we got 2 games coming up that were top 20, if they're not top 20 now. So, I mean, I was hoping that we would, and I think that it's going to be a little while, I was hoping that we would, and we have been trying to address the fundamentals, you know, how to handle the ball, how to go to the ball, not mishandling the ball, making sure we see the people that we're trying to make the pass to, all those basic things that everybody else in America knows about. But I mean, it's just going to take a while. You know, we're going to have to be more confident ball handlers, more confident passers, more confident receivers. You know, it's like we're shell-shocked at this point. And what we've got to do is we've got to continue to work on it. It's the only thing we can do. I can't talk about it. We've got to do something about it. So we'll be working on that. We're going into, wow, how much tougher does it get? In 2 weeks, we're picking up St. John's and Louisville and Notre Dame. So do I have reason for concern? Yeah. But, you know, maybe for those games, we'll still find a way to win. So we did find a way to win. I think at one time we were up by 13. Scared me a little bit. I thought we were going to lose the game. But we managed to maintain and we had control. So, you know, that kind of thing does happen. It did happen. But at the end, we won. We won ugly, but you won. And that's the only thing that's going to count right now. Hopefully we can win. Even in a losing situation, if you're confident about the way you play, then I can be happy because I know that those things will change. And that's what I've got to look at.
So what you're saying right now is that kind of, I imagine you were trying to send a message to your seniors with that starting lineup. Was that the gist of it?
I think that we just need to play a lot of people, other people, and give them a chance. As simple as that. Have I been pleased with the way we've been playing? No. So call it a message or whatever. At the end of the day, we've got to, you know, you either you address it, if you feel sorry for yourself, drop your head and don't do anything about it, or you say, and I think that the team did a great job. I thought that they were very supportive of the people that were in. That's all we're looking for, because a team is a team. That means all 12 people make a difference. It's not the people that start, because no one's entitled to that. You earn the opportunity, you know, with the things that you do, the passes, the rebounds, the assists, and all those other things. No one just comes in there just because you got seniority, a sophomore over a freshman. That's not going to happen, ever. So long story short is we just got to continue to work. We've got to compete better and more consistently within our own group. But I think that with the way I saw the team respond, I thought that they responded very well to the players that were outside. And I think that we're trying to find out a lot of things about people. For example, like I said, I watched Rachel. I want to see how she was going to handle starting. First time I started Kalia, she was a bundle of nerves. Not good. Okay, I remember the first time Erica started as a freshman. Not good. Bundle of nerves. Rachel surprised me. Good. So we're trying to look at everybody, and that's no big thing. I think what you want to try to find out is who are the people that are the beginners to start, that set the tempo, that can establish how this game is going to be played, intensity-wise, everything, offensively and defensively. Who are the people that play the middle part of the game? And then truly, who are the people that can finish? They don't blink. They make good decisions offensively and defensively. And you'll find that at the end of the day, that's what's going to count most. Who's in at the end? You know, and hopefully we as coaches recognize the strengths and the weaknesses, and who can handle that and who doesn't, and who does well when, you know, the game's not, I mean, they're kicking it in the middle of the game and they're knocking shots down. They feel comfortable. They're playing great defense and they're making good passes. You know, everybody is not going to be doing the same thing, you know, with the same level of confidence, and that's what we're trying to see. So, you know, like I said, I mean, I don't think that Rachel knows enough about LaSalle or anybody else that she would all of a sudden, you know, if she heard her name to call, or somebody got hurt at the beginning of the game, that she would freak out because she has to play at the beginning of the game. I needed to see that. So I'm pleased to see that. I know what each person has demonstrated, let me say it like that. Because that's the only thing I can go by, is what each person has demonstrated. Who's going to handle the pressure situation? Who's going to handle it when there's a press? There's going to be who's going to freak out and, you know, drop the ball or turn the ball over. You know, who's going to spread it out? Who's going to make good decisions? You know, that's it. And who starts to get a little nervous when, dang, we send them to the free throw line how many times? That's all they stayed in the game. So that's not very smart. I want to see if we can be smart. I don't want to close games. But if it doesn't need to be, it doesn't need to be. I want to see us negotiate a 2-on-1. That's basic stuff, basic layup stuff that we really do, believe it or not, practice. So, you know, we've got a number of things to put together, and I'm hoping that when the season's over, or the season for this Christmas season is over, and we're getting ready to start, that we can feel good about what we've accomplished.
What about Monique? Do you think she'll be ready by Sunday? Or?
She will be ready by Sunday.
Any questions for the student athletes?
Erica, can you talk? I think it might have beat the shot clock. It was 19-19, and you made a three-pointer. If you remember the play, it was 19-19. You made a three-pointer, and then all of a sudden it started like a 13-2 run. Did you feel like that kind of gave you guys the jolt you certainly needed?
I don't think the shot did. I mean, it wasn't a real good shot. The shot had to go up, or it would have been a turnover. But I think that coach was in timeout saying that we have to get defense and stop. So I think in the second half we took heed to what she was saying and we applied it on the court.
How about going into the big, like Coach was just saying, going into the Big East? I mean, obviously this is not a performance you were looking for going into the Big East. Does that affect confidence at all, or where are you guys with St. John's on Sunday?
Well, as a whole, as a team, we just have to get better, and we don't have many practices to, you know, tighten up certain things, but we just got to have confidence and just rely on our defense, and plus we got to score as more as guards. We can't rely on the post because teams are going to start noticing that, you know, the post is just scoring, and they're going to double down. So we just got to get together as a team and just continue to move forward and not be negative and just be positive.
Shakina, what did you see from that starting lineup? I mean, you were probably the vet. You were probably the oldest person in that starting lineup. I mean, what did you say? Did you see nerves from the other four? Did you say, you know what I mean? Did you say anything? I mean, obviously, I'm sure they were as surprised to be starting as we were to see it.
I don't think anyone was nervous. I just think that, you know, it's just a learning experience when you go out and play with different people and a different starting lineup. But it was just something that we tried, and it's just something that we could learn and grow from.
Well, Shakina, how do you feel about, you know, the team heading into the Big East competition starting Sunday?
I feel we'll be fine because, you know, we're beating ourselves. I don't see any team that is really like beating us. We're really beating ourselves, so I feel like we would do better in the future.
Any other questions?
Erica, does it feel like a spot you've been in before? You know what I mean? This isn't the first time we're having this conversation about a lackluster performance before big games. Do you feel like you've been here before, and I guess does that make it easier to accept going forward?
You don't want to accept it because it's not acceptable. It's not something that you don't want to be down. You don't coach. It's bad for coach to not know who her starting five is around this time. So it's not a comfortable thing. Yeah, I've been here before. We don't like it, but we just have to grow from it and move forward. We can't dwell on it, be negative about it. Just be positive, and just as a team, we got to keep each other up.
Shakina, what do you think it's a thing of you may be playing down to the competition a little bit?
I mean, I guess you can say that, but we're just being ourselves, point blank, period.
Any other questions?